Welcome. Right now, digital transformation is a lot like teenage dating. Everyone is talking about it, everyone thinks everyone else is doing it, so everyone claims they are doing it, but very few organizations actually know how to make it work. Take a look at this comic. Two T-Rexes realizing their short arms means selfies are just close-ups of their nostrils. This illustrates a critical trap. Applying modern technology to an outdated, structurally flawed process doesn't solve the problem, it only highlights your limitations. To build a survival blueprint today, we have to start by clearing the table. Forget about buying iPads for the sales team. Forget about moving a messy database to someone else's computer and calling it the cloud. Instead, I want you to pull up your organization's current IT project list. If we mistake buying expensive technical toys for a complete rewrite of your company's operational DNA, your business won't survive the next decade. Legacy companies go extinct exactly because they failed to recognize this difference. Step 1 in auditing your project list is categorization. We need to grade each of your initiatives against 3 distinct phases of digital maturity. We call these the 3 Ds. The first phase shown here is digitization. This is the simple conversion of analog information into bits. Think of scanning a paper invoice into a PDF. You haven't changed how the work is done. You've just made the data searchable instead of flammable. The next note is phase 2, digitalization. This involves using digital tools to automate an existing process. Be careful here. Automating a broken, chaotic process just gives you a faster mess. You fix the speed, but the underlying business logic remains exactly the same. The third node is true transformation. As the path breaks away, this represents a complete reinvention. You are changing the business model itself to leverage digital capabilities at its core. It is no longer about doing digital things. It is about being digital. Look back at your list. I want you to physically cross out any project title that starts with the name of a software vendor. Replace that software name with the specific point of customer friction you are actually trying to solve. 70% of these corporate projects fail entirely. They fail because companies start with a technology they want to install, rather than a problem they need to solve. Now we have to look outward. Your biggest threat isn't your traditional competitor down the street. It is the garage startup. They possess an immediate, lethal agility because they are entirely free of 40-year-old mainframe code and 20-story headquarters. This graphic highlights a striking reality about the modern economy. Notice the top row featuring Uber, Airbnb, and Alibaba. These are some of the most dominant companies in the world, yet they operate almost entirely without the physical assets that historically defined their industries. The indicators at the bottom tell the story. The largest taxi company owns no cars. The largest accommodation provider owns no real estate. And the most valuable retailer carries no inventory. They facilitate an ecosystem where users create value for each other. They are platforms, not product vendors. You need to audit your own asset-heavy processes right now. Ask yourself, what happens to our margins if a fast-moving competitor builds a digital platform that connects our suppliers directly to our customers? In a platform economy, your data is more valuable than your inventory. If you rely on physical mass to retain clients, remember that customer loyalty today is often nothing more than the lack of a better digital alternative. History is clear on what happens to companies that cling to their legacy assets. Kodak invented the digital camera in 1975, but they buried the technology out of fear that it would cannibalize their highly profitable film sales. They protected their past, and it cost them their future. Compare that to Amazon. Instead of hiding their messy internal IT infrastructure, they realized it could be packaged as a product. They took the servers required to run their retail bookstore and transformed them into the infrastructure for the internet. Today, Amazon Web Services generates the majority of the company's operating profit. To pull off that kind of pivot, you need speed over size. Jeff Bezos operated on the 2-pizza rule. If a team cannot be fed with 2 pizzas, it is too big. Large 50-person committees guarantee a glacial pace. You need small, independent units moving fast. This means your organizational structure has to shift. Look at any Phase 3 transformation initiatives on your project list. If they are owned by the IT department or a mid-level manager, reassign them immediately. True transformation must be owned by the CEO and the board of directors. The lesson here is brutal but necessary. your company must be willing to aggressively cannibalize its own legacy revenue streams today. Because if you don't, a startup in a garage will gladly do it for you tomorrow. Let's review the blueprint we've built. By now, you've crossed out the superficial hardware upgrades. You've identified the broken processes that shouldn't be automated, and you've isolated the core customer problems that actually require solving. This table breaks down the final distinction. A traditional IT initiative focuses on departmental efficiency and is managed by the CIO. Digital transformation is a cross-functional rewrite of your business DNA, driven from the top down, with the singular goal of survival. Notice the time frame. Unlike installing new software, genuine transformation is not a project with an end date. It is a continuous, permanent state of evolution. You now have the framework to separate the buzzwords from the real work. Take this categorized blueprint to your executive board, start the difficult conversations, make the necessary pivots, and make sure your company is writing its own future instead of ending up in the grave.